The matter is going to start in 5 seconds. Start. I would like to draw the kind attention of the Honorable Minister of Food Processing Industries about the need for setting up of cold storage facilities in my parliamentary constituency. I would like to bring to the notice of Honorable Minister about the problems being faced by the fishermen of my parliamentary constituency of Tamil Nadu to store fish and other marine products in the absence of any cold storage facilities in my constituency. The fishing is one of the main economic activities of my constituency. Fishermen in large number venture into the sea and they are able to catch fish on large scale through their hard work and efficiency. However, they are unable to store and sell them in the market due to lack of proper cold storage facilities in and around my constituency. Since they are unable to sell them on the same day of fishing, it leads to large scale perishment of fish and other marine products. This is turn affects the income profile of the fishermen of my constituency. If proper cold storage facilities are created, it would be very helpful to them to store the fish and sell them in the market as per the requirements of the customers and consumers. This will also help in boosting the economy of my constituency to some extent. Hence, I urge upon the Union government to set up cold storage facilities in my constituency, particularly for storage of fish and other marine products. I request for immediate intervention of government for speedy completion of laying of Sabarimala railway line in Kerala. The completion of laying of this railway line could bring the hilly backward regions under rail connectivity and infrastructure development. Moreover, millions of Sabrimala pilgrims will be benefited with this line. Even though the laying of the line was proposed long back, the work on this line has not attained much progress. It is a matter of concern that budget allocation for this line is reducing every year. Since long time, the landowners in Ernakulam district have been waiting for compensation against their acquired land. It requires about rupees 153 crore for compensation to landowners in the first phase. The current estimated cost of the project is rupees 1560 crore and the railways have proposed that the state government should bear 50% of the cost. But the state government is not in a position to bear 50% share of the project. I humbly request the government to take immediate measures to speed up the works and complete the project without further delay. The civil services preliminary exam is conducted every year. A record number of 4.5 lakh candidates apply for this examination. The Indian Civil Service serves as the backbone of India and carries great respect and responsibilities. India's best brains aspire for entry into the Indian Civil Services as officers. Even though corporate jobs may offer the best of salaries and perks, a majority of youngsters and their parents still crave for entry to the prestigious Indian civil services held by the Union Public Service Commission. The very fact that a big share of every year's top posts in the civil services examination are bagged by professionals from various streams shows that the IAS is still the dream for many. Out of the candidates who have been finally selected for service all over the country, 10% are from Tamil Nadu, the highest number for any state. Over 4.5 lakh students took the preliminary examination from various parts of the country this year, out of which 50,000 were selected for main examination. In the circumstances, I would like to say that in Tamil Nadu, there are only two centers for writing the civil service examination, that is Chennai and Madurai. The poor and middle class students go either to Madurai or to Chennai to write the preliminary examination, which are from far away places of Tamil Nadu. I therefore request the government to introduce more centers in Tamil Nadu for writing preliminary examination. Sir, my district is one of the most socially and economically backward districts. The area is worst affected due to Naxal activities, and the tribals are always under threat and fear. The area is full of forest and natural resources, but no resources which could improve living standards of tribals. This area is yet to be connected by rail line even after a lapse of 65 years of independence, since efforts should be made to develop tourism and forest related industries which could help in checking extremists activities and also improve economic condition of the district and adjoining districts in Odisha. A railway line should be started on this route on priority. The union government should approach the state governments to ensure that the farmers get adequate power supply for irrigation in the states where it is not adequate. Now, I will come to the position in respect of Karnataka state. In Karnataka, also the farmers are facing severe drought situation. The drought situation has become a continuous problem for the farmers in the state. The farmers, having been continuously put to this type of hardship, are financially incurring huge and great losses. The consequential effect is that they are resorting to commit suicide. The farmers committing suicides is not restricted to Karnataka alone, but the same situation is prevailing all over the country. To counter this problem, the irrigation system should be developed specially for drought prone areas. Now, I would turn your attention to coconut growers in Karnataka. In the whole of Karnataka, the coconut growers are put to a lot of problems because of the depletion of the underground water and also because of the continuous drought. My request to the government is not only rejuvenation of coconut trees in Karnataka but also to pay compensation to the farmers who have lost their coconut trees because of the depletion of underground water and also because of the continuous drought situation. Full stop.